Listen. Hey, hey, y'all. Hey, Mo. How is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hey, sweetie 52. Oh, I miss you guys too. Let me tell y'all, if I haven't stressed this enough, I have been absolutely enjoying and living my bestest life. And I suggest that you guys find what is important to you and do the same doggone thing. Okay. So it's a shame that I had to almost be killed, or shall I say, unalived on social media in order for me to really sit back and go, oh my gosh, there's so many things I have not done. Sorry, I'm trying to let my lashes dry. There's so many things that I have not done that I want to do. And so take it from me, enjoy your your life. Okay. So again, I want to thank everybody for being here. If you guys want to like, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff, tag a friend to let them know that we're here. Hey Dana. I hope you guys had a wonderful Memorial holiday. That was a Monday, of course, which is why I didn't come, because I'm thinking I know y'all gonna be partying at somebody barbecue. So I just chilled out. Okay. Um the Monday before that, I don't even know. Okay. But I'm here today. I'm glad you guys are here as well. All right. So if you guys have any questions, as always, I love for you to drop your questions so that I can answer them here. I am hopefully going to get some help with this setup that I want to. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Okay. I am not giving up my social media life. I am just adding on a social life on top of it, of which I did not have before. And again, I suggest you guys go and get you one as well. It is important for us to have a balance. Okay. So today I really just want to talk about fraud. Y'all know I like to talk about fraud, but what I wanted to talk about today was the types of fraud that notaries can do. Okay, so I've been seeing this large trend of things that are taking place. Um, People are, of course, getting convicted and all of these things, but not everybody is. Okay, and so y'all know my lives are for entertainment and educational purposes only. Y'all not getting me in trouble, but I definitely wanted to bring to you guys some unscrupulous things that notaries can do that do not require you guys. Okay, so this is why a lot of people are getting taken advantage of, your grandparents, these elderly people, because they just don't know. They don't know these things, and you guys probably don't know these things either. Okay, so if anybody here is a notary, I ain't trying to teach you nothing, but I am letting you know that there are people who have no problem getting their notary, um, and are simply running it up. Okay. Hey, Tamara. So if anybody wanted to be a notary really quick, all you would have to do is go to the Secretary of State with on your site. Excuse me, for your state, you will fill out the application, okay, to become a notary with your state. You will then have to, in most states, they require you to take some kind of training. You could take that training online if you choose. Some states do not require it. If your state does require it, again, you take that training online. If they don't require it, then you just continue on. As a notary, you will have to get a bond. Okay. That bond does look at your social security, your credit. So if your credit isn't that great, you may have to pay a little bit higher. But the purpose of the bond is in case you make a mistake, An individual can sue your notary bond and not you. Hey, Florida notary there, Shonda. Okay, thank you. Hey, Miss Aura, it's been a while. Miss you. So once you get that notary and you turn in that application that your state says, hey, you know, you could do this, you could be a notary, you pay your fee. Basically, it's all about money. Once you prove that you have your security bond, that's pretty much all you need to be just a traditional notary. Now, I'm not even talking, when I talk about this fraud today, this is not going to be based off of any special type of notary. It's not going to be the remote online notary. It's not going to be your loan signing agent notary or your permit runner notary. This is just going to be your regular $5 notary. Okay. Sign, you know, stamp here, $5, $10. Okay. All right. So the first and foremost, let me go over, and again, if y'all got questions, please make sure you drop them. I don't mind breaking the conversation up to get to that. Okay. So one of the things that you guys probably did not know, um, this is how people are able to steal things from you. Okay, now we all heard about like property fraud and all of that, but I'm gonna give you one that's gonna really blow your mind. Imagine somebody selling your car from up under you. Now, not a car that has a lien on it, meaning if you are still making payments on your car, this cannot happen to you. But if you have a car that you have outright cash, here is what can happen. An individual will only need to get the application for a title. Okay. Now I'm going to be mostly speaking on Florida. All right. So you get an application for the motor vehicle title for your car. Remember, this car has to be paid off, y'all. You do not have to go to the DMV to get the form filled out. You can take this form to a notary. And if you are an individual that can prove that you're yourself and that you can provide the bill of sale between you and the person who sold you the car. Now, remember, the notary is supposed to eyewitness both the buyer and the seller, so that they can verify that this is a true transaction. But if you have a sketchy notary, all they have to do is notarize that form that you fill out saying that you need a copy of the title. Okay. Then you go and you get this title um, from the DMV with the form, and then they'll give you a copy of your title without you providing them the bill of sale. Now, I know a lot of people um, will. Now, let me back it up. You're probably saying, well, if the title has my name on it, how can somebody steal it from under me? Very easy. People make fake identifications, y'all. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that this is something that everybody is doing, but if a lot of people knew someone who could make them a fake ID, the notary doesn't know any different. The only thing they're required to do is look at your face and the name and see the name on the paperwork and make sure it matches. So if you had someone that can create a fake ID, someone can, in essence, go and fill out a form requesting a copy of the title of a car using your information, and then they go down to the DMV, get a copy of the bill, get a copy of the title. They can sign it over and sell it to whoever they want to. Boom, the car is gone. Hey, Genteria. Okay, so I know that probably sounds like, oh, that would not happen, but it's happening. Okay. It's not happening a lot because a lot of people aren't thinking about that, but it can happen. So I'm not telling you guys to be worried or be concerned or any of those things. But what I am telling you guys is to be careful where you necessarily put your information, because people can assume to be you at any time. Okay. Again, if you are watching from TikTok, please tap that like button, hit that heart button, and tag some people so that more people can see that this live. And same for you guys here on YouTube. So I want y'all to see, one, how somebody can easily go and take a car that is paid off and take it from up under you and sell it. Okay. See, look at that. Mika, thank you, Mika. Mika said that happened to her sister. So I want y'all to know that this is a very real thing. Okay. So we got the car title. Now, I know y'all have already heard about people taking property from individuals and selling them. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you guys did not know this, and this is very, very important. If you are adding someone onto a deed for a home, you have to have that person there when you go, well, now they're trying to change it. Okay, let me show you what they're trying to do. Let me stop myself. What they are trying to do is, once you remove someone from the title, they are now trying to make it so that an individual has to have a notary there to remove the person from the deed. All right. And the reason they're doing that is because people are, in essence, taking properties and stealing it from them and selling it. But basically, the same rules apply of which I just said. Anyone can get a fake identification and put your picture on there, and all you have to do is go to a notary, because most notaries, again, are not, they're not there to do forensic research. All they're there to do is match names with a name, and hopefully you got a picture with an ID. And all an individual does is remove someone off of a deed, and then they go on and sell it. Now I read an article. There is a husband and wife family. They travel, and all they do is find property that has been sitting, and they don't even sell homes. They sell land. Most people who have land are not constantly watching their land. They're just letting it sit there and using it as a tax write-off. Okay. But they go around, they find people who have just vacant land. And you guys know it's really easy to put in Zillow an address, put on Google Earth an address, and you can see if it's a home or if it's land. Then again, they get the fake ID. They turn around and get the fake ID, take it to a notary, say, hey, I'm removing so and so off of this. And I'm going to put, their new boyfriend, whoever that may be. Okay. And then they turn around and then they go and sell it to someone. They cash out, they get that money, and they're gone. And the good part is they can get away with any amount of money that they want to, because they're not tied to it. So even if they got $10,000 for 20 acres, which I know they wouldn't sell it for that cheap, but even if they did, they are very smart about that because they don't care. Okay, they do not care. You're asking my YouTube account. My YouTube is the same name, Shamika Saves, just like this. Okay. One thing I want you guys to pay attention to on my YouTube, um, other than my CPN videos, which are still hidden. If anybody is curious, got questions about how people are getting these homes with evictions and all of that stuff, that CPN video is still doing numbers. But I wanted to say that I have made over 400 some odd videos on my YouTube, and some of that stuff I made back then is going to be very important to some of y'all now. Now, I'm not saying that I'm got a third eye, any of those things, but I did not know why I was making the information I was, but I'm glad that I did, because one thing about the government is they are already going to be telling you about what is going to be happening in bits and pieces. It is up to us to stay vigilant and paying attention to what it is that they're putting out, because the things that we were saying back then are happening right now. And I'll give you an example, because I'm going to take a segue from the notary fraud. If you guys haven't heard, Joe Biden and his administration, they are planning on removing medical bills completely from your credit reports, because they claim that they want you individuals to be able to buy a home. Okay. Now, I told y'all about this a little while ago, probably 2 years ago. Okay. I told y'all 2 years ago that they were going to be throwing homes at you guys around this time. Okay. You may not necessarily feel the inflation because you guys maybe not be paying attention, because you're like, man, I'm still going out, I'm still doing the do whatever. But I promise you, go to the grocery store and look at your grocery store receipt. And even if you are an individual that's receiving assistance, food stamps, any of those things, you still will notice that you are not getting what you used to get. So inflation is kicking butt in different areas. Okay. But now they are going to now push or encourage you to get a house by telling you that they will give you a mortgage at whatever credit score you have. Somebody called me the other day, and y'all know I always tell y'all about the phone calls I get. And they said, girl, they told me I can get a mortgage with a 550 credit score. Now, y'all remember, 580 used to be the lowest of the lowest of the low that they would go. Now, some programs are doing 550. If somebody tells you they'll give you a house with a credit score of 550, you better run, because your interest rate is going to be so high that all you're going to be doing is sitting there waiting to be foreclosed upon. Okay. Do not waste your time falling into those traps, but that is what's going to happen. So now that they're going to try to remove medical bills completely from your credit, let me tell y'all a couple things. The first thing is, Yay. Some of you guys' credit scores are um uh they didn't mention that they were going to remove the old ones, so we have to wait. But if they do remove the old ones, great. Majority of you guys' credit score is going to go up. If you are an individual and you don't have any medical collections and it hasn't hit your account, them not putting it on your credit doesn't help your credit one way or another. Okay. Um, but what the only thing that I feel that the benefit of removing the medical bills from your credit is the fact of not having them there. If you guys did not know, do not let them tell you that they're doing something that is going to make the process smoother for you to get a home. You know why? Because medical bills are already not included into the decision making of you purchasing a home. It is not. Okay. So you can have 5 Discover credit cards that are charged off and 12 medical bills that are not paid, and you will still get a loan as long as those Discover bills are taken care of and your credit score meets the credit score requirements of the lender. Okay. So it's great that they're not going to let it be put on your credit. So now some of you guys, um, when you see that you get denied for something because you have too many collections, that will be good for you. But as far as them tying, moving, removing medical bills to home ownership, don't let them mislead you, because those two things have nothing to do with one another, because it wasn't stopping you in the first place. Okay. Now, your lender could say, hey, you got $20,000 in medical bills. We're going to take a percentage of that, maybe 10%. And that's how much less house that you can't get. So if you got $20,000 in medical bills, they may say, well, we're going to, instead of giving you 150, we're now going to give you 148, 500 that you can use towards buying a house. Okay. That's going to be about it. And then it also helps less people file bankruptcy, which I think is great also. But a lot of people don't even know to file bankruptcy who have a lot of collections. Okay. So if you guys think this is going to be good and it's going to help you, then please let me know why. Tell me what you think the good reason about it is. And did you guys even know that they were doing this? Okay. This is yet another tactic that they're going to be using, because this is tax season. Excuse me, this is election season. Excuse me, tax season is over. This is election season. Okay. So since it's election season, they're going to be trying to throw all types of things at you, just like they keep saying Joe Biden has just forgiven these many millions and millions of student loans. Okay. Well, you know why he has to forgive those many, many, many student loans? Because he just probably has to sign after the secretary signs, but it was already going to happen no matter what president was in office, because these schools that are on the borrower's defense list have already been found to be at a fault, and they ultimately have to pay, they have to give the money back to Department of Education. So it didn't matter if Trump was in office, if Obama was in office, or Clinton was in office. It would happen automatically, because it's a process. Okay. It's a part of the procedure of when you win a lawsuit. Okay. So this isn't something that he just went out and championed for all of you guys to get your loans dismissed. Now, if he would have did the $10,000 with the $10,000 thing that he was going to do, then that would have been him. But this, it's not him. Okay. I'm not telling y'all who to vote for. I don't get into all that, but I do like to give you fact from fiction. And so you guys can know that a lot of this stuff is media and not necessarily the truth. Okay. All right. Let me see what Dana's asking. Dana says, does this affect getting a home equity line of credit? If you have medical collections on your credit report, it does affect getting a home equity line of credit, because now, they're not looking at it this the same exact way, but a home equity line of credit, for those who do not know, is basically like taking out a second mortgage. You're basically borrowing money from the equity that you have earned into your home. And Dana, if you do this, remember, you only have to you have to tell them you're doing one or two things. You're gonna consolidate your bills, or you are fixing up or adding on to your home. It has to be some type of construction. You can't tell them that I want this home equity line of credit because I'm about to go invest in Bitcoin. Don't tell them that. Okay. Those are the only two things that they want to hear. Anything else, they're going to disqualify you. But yes, if you have too many medical collections, the bank can absolutely say, hey, you got too many collections. We don't feel comfortable giving you any money because you cannot pay your bills. Okay. It's different when they are doing the home equity line of credit versus when you are getting a mortgage. Okay, so they look at some different things, because a home equity line of credit is really just like giving you a personal loan. So they want that credit to be it looking good, so that you can acquire this loan from the bank. All right, so I see some questions here on TikTok. Hey, Emotions with Mariah. We are talking about some everything right now. We're talking about notary fraud, and then we segued into talking about what's going on with Joe Biden and his administration. It says, who will benefit from the payment count adjustment? What payment count adjustment, beautiful? Let me know, so I can answer. And if you're talking about payment account adjustment, are you talking about your student loans? People keep stealing your car. Thank you. That's right. That's how we get people to not steal your car. We already talked about how people steal your home. I got a couple other things I'm gonna tell y'all. Okay, Aura says, so why mine has not been forgiven? Still need 3 more payments. Miss Aura, did you put in for the borrower's defense? That's the main question. Second thing is, if you did put in for borrower's defense, you guys should automatically be given a 24-month deferment. So you should not be making any payments. And you said that you still need 3 more payments. Tell me why you still need 3 more payments. Okay. Dana says, that's what I did. My house is paid off. All right, good, good, Miss Dana. House is paid off. That is a blessing. Unfortunately, when we think our house is paid off, we still have to pay that doggone property tax. Okay, so we got to make sure we are paying our property taxes, folks. Okay, or that house will be their house, and you're gonna be looking ugly. All right. All right, so let me tell y'all another trick that notaries can do when it comes to divorce. Okay, now this actually happened in I believe it happened in Miami, and so there are a lot of people that want to get a divorce. Okay, I'm an advocate of it. If the thing ain't working out and y'all can't come to some type of agreement, you're not in counseling. And God forgive me, but I advocate for people to be separated. A divorce, not legally separated. And if you do separate it, make sure it's legally separated. Okay, that's important. Some states do not allow. Florida is the state that does not allow legal separation. You either got to be married or you need to be divorced. There is nothing in the middle. Okay. So if it's not working, I strongly advocate for the divorce, simply because you have your own personal estate. I don't want to be still married to somebody separate. I got a boyfriend, he got a girlfriend, and something happens. I win the lotto, then I have a stroke because I'm so happy that I won, and then he get all the money, and then all my new family and loved ones get nothing. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes y'all have to think about things like that. I don't want somebody that I'm no longer with having the decision making authority to decide if it's time for the doctor to pull the plug on me. Okay, I know someone very close to me, to my mom, and this is kind of a crazy, sad story, but I'm gonna tell y'all anyway. She was doing like missionary work at the prison, and she was one of those women that go out there and they pray for the men, and she actually met a man and she fell in love, and they actually got married. She was an older woman. She had a baby, but during the baby, she had a medical condition that actually left her in a coma. Okay. Now, come to find out, it was medical malpractice. She won $10 million, but she was still in a coma. Now, she was married to the man in prison because that was her husband. The hospital came to him, even though they had not even been together that long. And yes, they got pregnant. She got pregnant during a conjugal visit. Okay. The man said, pull the plug. Okay. And guess what? He took all the $10 million, and her family and the kids got okay. So that's one of the stories I keep back in my mind of, like, you know what? This is why, if it ain't working, we are separating, and we can work it out and get married again if we choose. But I'm not staying married, because I am not going to allow somebody to have that much access to me. Okay. All right. Keila said, how to pay house off now. I'm going to tell y'all, when it comes to paying stuff off, I am a little bit okay, because I look at it from uh, credit purposes, tax purposes, And even if you were to pay off your mortgage to the bank, you still have property taxes to pay. So you are never, ever done paying for a home. Just like you always would have to pay for rent in an apartment, no matter how many years or months you stay there, because you got to pay to stay. Same with a house, you paying to stay. Okay. So if you want to make your house payments, or to get your payments down from your 30 years, remember, I like to talk about amortization. Okay. Amortization, every time you buy a home, even if you buy a car, even if you have a credit card, any creditor that you have has an amortization schedule that will show you that if you pay this much money every month on your balance, and the schedule goes down like steps, and it'll show you this is how long it'll take you to get to zero. They do that with a home. One way to circumvent that is to make an additional payment a year. So you make your additional regular 12 payments, and then you can designate one additional payment to be made directly to the principal. Um, or you can make it direct. Yeah, you make it directly to the principal, and the reason you make it directly to the principal, not the interest, is because the amount of your interest that you're charged every month is based on how much principal. Okay, so if you have $5, and I charge you interest on $5, it may be $2.50. But if you pay down that 5 to $3, your interest may now be $1.25. So you should always want to make an additional payment that goes towards your principal so that you are paying less interest, which ultimately means you're paying less for your mortgage, because the majority of your mortgage is 70% interest. Only 30% is the home. Okay. So 70%. Okay. So if you want to cut it down, you can cut it down. Now, remember, and they changed this in the tax law. So right now, you having a home doesn't really give you any credits, but they may change that in the future. So I don't want to see y'all rush out and pay your houses off, because if you're not, because sometimes they don't. Sometimes you can get a credit during taxes. Again, you would have to see which administration is in office to see if they're now going to give you credit for having a home. They used to, now they don't. And if you guys follow and have done taxes and you're grown, a lot of y'all remember we used to do the home office deduction, and we used to get some money off by saying we use 300 square feet of our home space as a home office. They don't give you anything for that anymore. Okay. But again, different administrations change different things. Okay. So that's another reason why I wouldn't rush to pay it off. And then probably my third reason is most people have mortgages on their credit for 20 or 30 years. So can you imagine if I were to pay off a debt that's been on my credit that long, what it would do to my credit when I paid it off? And it won't go up. It will go down. And y'all should know that from when you pay off your cars. And a lot of y'all only had your cars 5 years or so, but when you pay off that car note, and that now is showing that now we can no longer factor this loan into your credit overall score, boom, it's going to drop. Okay. So I don't always believe in rushing to pay things off, because you never really own it anyway. Okay. What you need to do is what I'm learning to do is to be able to be smart enough to utilize the tools for when I can't pay it, I know who to go to or what to do. And again, y'all know my word. Uncle Sam, my uncle, he y'all uncle too, and bankruptcy. Okay. Because too many people are going to be up on the chopping block for that very same thing. I've been there myself. I've been there when you got that Liz Pendens notice in the mail saying your house is going up for foreclosure. But you know what I used to do when I saw it? Let me put this over here to the side. I got until what date? Then I know I have until that date to get me an attorney so that we can file bankruptcy, because I'm not letting them take my stuff. Okay. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of people who are of this persuasion think that same exact way. I'm trying to get y'all to think the same exact way also. Okay. Hey, Nicola. Hey, Miss Cynthia. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Desiree. All right. Hey, Mo. All right. So let me see what else you're saying. Okay. Okay. So your student loans. Okay. So how do you who will benefit from the payment counter? Okay. So on the student loans, if y'all didn't know, they are doing some payment account adjustments. Some of those payment account adjustments are going to be because some of you guys have made payments for the wrong amount, because they calculated your loans wrong. If so, you guys will get your money back. If you've paid your loans off, for example, even if you didn't pay them off, and then you turn around and find that your loans are discharged, you are supposed to get a refund check for that as well. I have not seen too many of y'all show me really large amounts of refund checks. I think the most I've seen was like $8,000. And I'm sure they probably paid more on their loans than that. But hey, just be happy to get something. But most of the payment account adjustments are for individuals who overpaid, and now they're going to give you some money back. Now, if you are a veteran, beautiful. I don't know if you are, but if you are a veteran and you used and you had a borrower's defense um, application, and your loans were discharged, you get an adjustment from the VA. There's a certain form that you have to fill out. I promise I'm gonna do a video on that. Okay. But there is a form that you have to fill out, and the VA will give you your months back towards your GI Bill. Okay. So I do like that. So for those of you who thought, like, oh man, I don't waste my GI Bill going here and now I don't have no more. No, they're going to give you at least 12 months of your GI Bill back, so that you can reuse it to go to school someplace else. All right. So these are good questions. Good questions. Let me see if y'all asking me anything else. It says, is paying off your credit card debt in full a bad thing? Should I leave a balance? Absolutely, leave a balance. I do not believe in paying everything off to zero for the same thing that I just said. It's gonna hurt your score in some ways. My main thing is the five factors of what goes into making your credit score is your utilization is one of them. So if you can get I don't even care if you paid your credit card down and you left $20 on it. It will do more with you paying it off and leaving that balance than with nothing. It also will hurt you to pay off your balance in full because, and I can tell you, I did it for 2 years. I had a credit card every month. I made it was $3,000. I paid it off to $3,000 every month in full. Do you think out of those years the credit card company gave me one increase, even though I paid it off in full? They did not. And most time, I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you don't have the ability to constantly need them, then they have no need to give you an increase because they aren't making any money. They knew my habit. They knew the habit was charge it up, pay it off. Charge it up, pay it off. So out of that $3,000 that I was getting off of them every month, guess how much they were getting off of me? Maybe $100 because I would pay it off every month. So they didn't like that because they're not making money. Remember, when somebody lends you something, more than likely they want something. No different than the average person you meet on the street. So the bank is doing the same thing. So don't say, I don't need you, Mr. Bank. I got it. I got my own money. I can pay. That's just when independence goes wrong. So you want to pay it off. Excuse me, you want to pay it down, but not all the way off. Okay. And a lot of people aren't going to tell you that because a lot of people are more concerned with telling y'all how to get out of debt, which I don't want people in debt. But if you got $100 spread out between 4 or 5 credit cards, I'm okay. And your credit is going to be even better. All right. Hey, Devontae, how are you? Yes, Miss Nicola, y'all let me know if you want to get with me. Okay, so a sidebar real quick. So I told y'all last year I helped a family get $50,000 in a grant through the Open Road Fund. And that grant is opening up again June 9th. If y'all don't believe me, please go look it up. Open Road, OPEN, Road, ROAD, Fund, FUND. Now, you have to live in, now it's 3 states. It used to be 1, but it's North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. Now, I'm not telling people what to do or what not to do, but if you got a cousin or a friend, you might want to borrow that address. Okay. It opens June 9th. So if anybody is looking to get some assistance with that, y'all let me know. I've about a couple people, that's all I'm going to say, already ready to apply. And I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all want to come together as a group of y'all and, you say, hey, I mean, I can use the 50,000, but I want, a couple of us to come in together so you can pay to get the application filled out. Do that. Come as a group if that's what you need to do. If not, come individually and keep all that 50,000 on your own. Okay. And there is no requirement other than you having some black in you. Okay, so if you could say that, hey, my ancestors came over from Africa, which in all actuality, isn't that all of us? You are eligible. So look that up, Open Road Fund. I want to hear y'all say nothing. Don't say I didn't tell you. I know this is real, and I helped someone get it last year. So if y'all are interested, please go. It is opening up. Go read about it first, so that way you can tell me if y'all need some help. I am sure the people who run last year are going to tell a whole bunch of other people. So there's going to be more people applying. So y'all need to go on and get with your girl, so that we can get this going. Okay. All right. So I don't know if we finished the one about the marriage. Okay. But we're going to get back to the fraudulent notaries. Okay. So I just want to tell y'all, fraudulent notaries can actually divorce. Okay. Lots of people are getting divorced. All right. And a lot of people can't find the person that they're married to. Now, here is what a fraudulent notary could do. A fraudulent notary could, or the spouse, whoever wants to get divorced, can fill out paperwork saying that that the spouse, they have to fill out a contested divorce. Okay, and contested basically means that you and the other party do not see eye to eye on what y'all want from this marriage, or one person may not want to get divorced and the other person does want to get divorced. Okay, and then the other one is a uncontested, which is, hey, that's what I had with my ex-husband. We both were like, let's just get a divorce. I don't want nothing from you, you don't want nothing from me, let's just be done. Okay, so if you happen to have a missing spouse, this is where the fraudulent notary comes in. If you have a missing spouse, you can go fill out the paperwork. You can go advertise it in the paper. Okay, that's the correct way to do. Oh, freak. Sorry, look at that. And now I got to get back over here on TikTok on this phone, y'all. Hold on. Phone just went all the way out. Let me get back real quick. Hold on so I can tell y'all. Wait a minute. I hate that. Yeah. All right. Okay. So basically, what happens in order for this person to get a divorce, and this did happen for real, is somebody basically filled out the paperwork saying, me and my spouse agree that we just want to be divorced. And what did they do? They took that paperwork to a notary, and the notary just signed off saying that they saw both people, and that person was able to turn that paperwork in, and that's how this woman got a divorce. Her husband did not find out that he was divorced from her until some years had passed. Okay, but all the while she was completely divorced. Sorry, y'all, from TikTok, the phone died. Okay, I did not have a chance to charge it while I was up here, so don't judge me. Okay, but y'all know I carry two phones. So basically, if someone wanted to be unscrupulous, all they could do was get a notary, whether that notary is their friend, hey, from South Carolina, whether that notary is their friend, whether that notary requires to see two people there or not. All it takes is a notary to sign that paperwork, and you can get a divorce without the other party knowing, because the notary said that y'all both were there and you turn it into the court. And what is so neat about these courts, and this is why it gets me that they're always on us for doing things wrong when they make it so damn easy. And it's like, you really trust people to do the right thing? Because they're not. If the only person that has to show up to court is the person who filed for the divorce, then the other person never really has to know that they were divorced. Okay, I've had people that come in and say, hey, I got married in another country. They can't find that person they were married to. Or I got married, and now my spouse lives in another state and they're not talking to me. Or I have people that say, I got a domestic violence order and I have a no contact order and I want to get a divorce. What can I do? This is some of the ways these people circumvent the system and still go out and get these things done and get a divorce by just using a notary. And well, I don't want to say they beat the system, but the system is what the system is the system. Okay. And that's how it works. I don't know if you guys seen this happen over the weekend. Individuals up in Atlanta, they are mad that, and this happened to a woman. She was able to get her home sold from up under her simply because the state doesn't require you show any proof when you fill out paperwork. So what happened to this woman is they didn't sell her house. Let me excuse me. She was evicted. Although she was the person who had a mortgage. She had a mortgage on her own property and the sheriff came to evict her. Why? Because the state of Georgia does not require there to be proof that a person has served you the eviction notice or anything. All you have to do is have the person's name. You fill out a report that you want them to be evicted. You state under penalty of perjury, which is under good faith, that yes, I gave them that 3-day notice, or yes, I gave them that 7-day notice, and they still haven't paid. And now look, this woman caught the sheriff at her gate. If she did not have a gate to her yard, they would have went in her home and threw her items out on the ground, and she was the owner. Okay, so I'm telling you, hey Starlight. So I'm letting you know that these notaries can really do some things. Okay, so y'all have to watch. What happens with these notaries. Going back to the car title scheme that I was telling you guys about. This just happened in Miami a month ago. They just busted a lady who worked at the DMV because she was working with the individuals who are doing the same thing that I'm telling y'all. They would fill out that title form that I'm telling y'all about. They would go get the notary to sign it, take it to the lady at the DMV. She knew that these were not legit, and she would still issue the title to the car, and the cars were sold from up under these people and sold to another country, and some of the cars were taken to a chop shop and redone. The VIN was taken off. Ultimately they got caught, okay, because they're probably, people notice patterns, okay, but ultimately she was caught, but she got hit with like $3 million in fines, in her indictment, because that's how much they feel that could have been made from all of the sales that she got from issuing these titles. Okay, so people can do some things. Okay, and the crazy part is, y'all know people be calling me about this. Okay, and I don't ask no questions, but somebody said, "Hey, I can't get a title, and I need a title to sell my car." Blah, 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 blah. How do I get it? Me, I'm just gonna tell them. Whatever they do with it, the information is on them, because I can't, make a person do right from wrong. All I can do is give you the information. So I'm letting you guys know they can steal your property and sell it from up under you. They can steal your house, sell it from up under you. In some cases, you can even be evicted and you didn't even get a notice. Did y'all hear the black lady that was on the news in Tampa? She was crying because she paid somebody all this money to move in to a house. And then she found out that she was getting evicted on her birthday. And it was some lady that she found on Facebook. And this lady says that she's a rental, like a rental search agent. She made herself almost seem as if she was a real estate agent, but she wasn't. And she was actually taking money from these people and giving them leases. But this is what she was doing, y'all. The lady that was on Facebook was actually getting these apartments in a CPN in a different name than her own. Then she would turn around and list on Facebook that she was a property rental manager, or she can help you on apartment scout. She can help you get a place to stay. And then she would take that same place that she is renting and rent it to you as if it was hers. Now, the average ordinary person isn't looking up the address to see if somebody owns it or who owns it, to see if it matches the name of the person that you was talking to. They didn't do that. Okay. The person already had the key because they got the rental. And then you know what they did? They let that person stay there. They collected the money, but the original person, never paid the rent to the real owner while they were collecting money from the fake ass tenants. And then what happens? They get an eviction notice on the door, but not in their name, in the person from Facebook's name. So now this person is stuck going, well, who is this person? I can't be put out. It's not me. But guess what? She has every right to be put out because she's not anywhere on any paperwork. Okay? So people can do some things. Okay? Now that doesn't necessarily take a fraudulent notary to do, But I'm letting you know that people can do all types of things to get what they want, and you guys got to pay attention. I don't want y'all to get caught up in no fraud, especially the amount of people that I talk to that cannot get a place. What's up with the open roof? What open roof? Let me know what you talk about, Trigger, so that I know what you are talking about. And again, for those who are watching, hit the heart button here on TikTok. I appreciate it. And Devontae, what hookup you need? You do not need no hookup for that. Okay. Black and Eve says, especially not in Tampa. Yes, they did it in Tampa. And you know the crazy part? I felt so sorry for the lady that this happened to. Y'all, and I swear I should make a video. I already know who the girl is that was actually perpetrating to be this person online. And all I'm going to say, well, I'm going to say I believe that I know. I did my research. I did a lot of looking up, put some things together, and I could make a pretty good video and contact the news company so that they can reveal. Because you know what we found out is that this has happened over 10 times in Tampa. This person with these fake CPNs have gotten several apartments and has done this. Now, again, I'm not encouraging y'all to do anything, but it just goes to show y'all some of these scammers are pretty damn smart, okay? Because they come up with ways, and what they do is they attack you at your vulnerability. So if your credit ain't right, your finances ain't right, you got an eviction, you got a repo, they're gonna get you. They're gonna come after you, okay? Because they know you are in a position of need. All right. So y'all gotta watch that. Nicole, I'm glad you're a notary and you would never do that. But believe you me, there are notaries that will do that. Because I'm gonna tell you something. A notary can in some ways say that they just did not know. If I come to you right now, Nicola, and I say that I want you to notarize something for me, all I have to do is have a fake ID, and you not knowing, I mean, you know me, but if you didn't know me, you would not know if I wasn't that person or not. So people can just easily notarize a form just by giving you a fake ID. And if you happen to get investigated as a part of the case, your out is, I did not know they had a fake ID. And in most cases, they have fake IDs. All right. Um, that's what a lot of people do. Fake IDs. I mean, of course, it's going to allow you to assume to be the person, whoever you want to be. Okay, that's how people are opening these bank accounts fraudulently. Those don't take notaries, but these fake IDs is really what's getting these things in motion. So at least the notary can have an out. Now there are going to be some notaries that's just like, hey, break me off. That's one thing. But in most cases, a lot of them may just not know. Okay. Black and Ease, you call it scamper. I like that. Okay, scamp is, and let me tell y'all, and Tampa is known for having very high rates of usage of CPNs. Okay, but this is what I want Joe Biden and his administration to do: is instead of taking damn medical bills off of the credit, why not create legislation that an individual cannot be denied an apartment unless they have at least 2 or more evictions? Okay, because sometimes things just happen. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all know I love the word bankruptcy, but if you are feeling that you are going to have to move out of a place because you cannot afford it, if your credit is already messed up, if you are already at your limit of debt, you might want to consider filing bankruptcy, because guess what? You can throw that apartment into your bankruptcy before it becomes an eviction. Because one of the questions on the form, it asks you, do you rent? If you say yes, do you rent? That is what they call an executory you have a contract. Okay. That, even though that apartment is an apartment, the courts still look at that apartment complex as a creditor because you have to pay them. So in the event that you know you are about to get evicted and you want to save your credit, now I know you're probably gonna say, well, bankruptcy ain't saving my credit. Yes, it does. And if you don't believe me, contact me and I'll send you a video as proof, okay, to show you that it can. I'd rather have a bankruptcy on my credit more than I'd rather have an eviction or a repo. Bankruptcy is responsible. Eviction or repos, irresponsible. If you are the bank, which one would you like to see? A person that tried to save their credit by doing the right thing, or the person who just said, fuck it, I'm just going to let it fall through the cracks? Okay. So they're going to go with the bankruptcy one. But you can, if you know that you're going to get evicted, put that you're renting in your bankruptcy paperwork, and then you would list that contract for that rental that you have. And then they're going to ask you, well, what do you want to do? And you say, I don't want to be here no more. And guess what? You get to get out of that doggone lease, and you do not have to worry about it becoming an eviction because you took the legal loophole. You don't even got to call it a loophole. I like to call them loophole. But you took the legal route so that you're able to exit a contract without fulfilling your full obligation. That's the same thing that is happening when you put your credit in there. When you put your credit cards in there, you are asking for an out. Now, it's not going to work like that on your car. Somebody did call me and say, hey, I can't afford to pay my car. I want to file bankruptcy. And I'm like, okay, but what are we going to do with your, what do you want to do? I said, if you file bankruptcy and you're behind on your car payments, if you want to file a Chapter 7, in order to keep that car, you got to make these payments, because they're not going to let you keep the car and, and just wipe out the debt. And that's what this person thought. And that's not what happens. Okay. If your car is about to get repoed, same thing, folks. And I made a video on TikTok. You can file bankruptcy. Now you can file a 7 that'll delay them from picking it up, but you still would have to make the full payments if you want to keep it. But if you want to file a Chapter 13, you can delay the process of them picking it up, but then they will reorganize your finances so that you can still make payments and keep the car. Okay, so they work with you. You'd have to ask for like an exception, because some people don't meet the, your income isn't there, or your asset amounts for the Chapter 13 isn't there. But if you do want to keep the car, they have no problem allowing you the option to, hey, work out a deal with the car company, because the car company don't want that damn car back. You done been in it. Nobody don't really want a used car like that. So if they can keep you to keep it, that's what they want. Okay. All right. Let me see what y'all saying real quick. You made mention of African thing, but was lagging. I don't know what African thing you talking about. Oh, you mean black people? I wonder, is that what you're talking about? Black people? Absolutely. We need to definitely, oh, not open roof, open road. I'm sorry. Again, y'all, the $50,000 grant that opens on the 9th is open road, ROAD. Okay. All you have to do is to be eligible is you have to be 16 or older. So I'm telling y'all, if y'all got kids, y'all about to let y'all kids put your kids on to try to apply, get them in the act of knowing what is, it is to apply for a grant. Okay. Yes, someone that was 16 won $50,000 last year in a group. Now, it's only, I think, maybe 14 people or 15 people get selected. The crazy part is, I can tell y'all right now, I can be talking to thousands of y'all, but only 10%, less than that, probably 1% of you guys are going to actually apply. Okay. So for those that actually are going to go through with it, please know you have a great chance of getting this, because people aren't. And how many people in South Dakota and North Dakota and Minnesota that look like this? There ain't that many. There are some, but the ones that are there probably don't even know about it and ain't gonna apply. Okay. Miss Cynthia said, people be scamming all over the place. I saw a story today where someone rented a backyard swimming pool of a home that was not even theirs through a company called Swimply. The pool man busted. Absolutely. I talked about Swimply a couple years ago as a way to make money, as a good way for you guys to make money, simply by putting your pool on Swimply. And Swimply is just like Airbnb, but it's just for your pool, so people can just rent your pool and nothing else. Okay. But I would not be surprised if somebody went and listed somebody else's pool, probably somebody who don't even live at that house no more, because guess what? They don't have to have access to the house, only to this pool. Most pools have outside access. So this person probably listed somebody else's pool, got paid while somebody else was in somebody else's yard. I'm telling y'all, and y'all, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to continue to see because of what I was just telling you. Inflation, people are losing their jobs. People are becoming desperate and hungry. So if you own anything, you have to exercise your due diligence to keep your eye on your things, because if you don't, somebody is coming for you. Okay. And that's just straight up. Okay. That's right, Miss Darling. They need to be exposed. All right. Miss Cynthia says, when the homeowners contacted Swimply to have it taken down, they did not The homeowners had to get the news media involved before it was removed off the site. Very, very true. And you know why? Because people scam so much that the companies don't even know which damn side to take. You guys who are the real owners have the burden of proof of proving that it's yours. Just like the lady who had the police show up at her yard, she had to prove to them that, hey, this is my damn house. She had to get the mortgage. She had to, she had to do all kinds of stuff just to get through. Another one that I'm going to let y'all know, and this isn't a notary scam, but this happened, and in my mind, I'm thinking, damn, it was this easy. I can imagine what it takes. All right, here goes one. Now, y'all know I rent one of my houses out, and so the tenant gets the mail at the address, which is correct. Okay. Now, I told the post office, hey, these people don't live here anymore, but they're still getting mail at my house. I would like to get a new key for my mailbox so that I can take the mail out. And the post person said, that's not for you. That is not your mail or your mailbox, because it's theirs because they rent it. And I said, well, the lease is up. She says, well, we ain't going to give you the key unless you show that you move back into your own house. If not, you have to leave that mailbox the way it is until you get new people in there, because that's now their mailbox. And I'm thinking, well, damn. And I said, well, okay, well, if I want the mail to stop, what do I have to do? Get this. This is how easy somebody can take over your mail. Now, I already told y'all, people can go right on to the U.S. Postal website and do a change of address and pay $1.10 and take your mail from you. Especially if you don't respond to the notice that comes in your mailbox, letting you know that somebody put in a change of address. Okay, if you don't respond, the change of address automatically happens. Here's another way. I can go down to the post office with a lease. Y'all know leases can be made up, and say, hey, I live at this house. I need a key to my mailbox because I just moved in here. Do you know they do not ask anybody else to verify that? They go by what you bring in with the lease. And once you bring in the lease to the post office, guess what they give y'all? A damn key. Now, most people have the regular mailbox, but if you're in these new subdivisions, they have the mailboxes all in the thing, with your number 123 all the way to whatever. So just that easy, somebody can make a lease up, go to the post office and say, I am the new tenant at this address. I need a new key to my box. And they gonna give you the damn key. Now, hit that damn like button, first of all, okay? But isn't that something? Now, y'all wondering how people are getting mail? Not all the people are robbing the post office, man, and taking that master key. Now, of course, that's the easiest way, but people are doing this, okay? So it's little small things like that. The grant is called Open Road, like a road you're driving on. Open and Road Fund, Fund, Open Road Fund. Okay, if y'all need it after the live, y'all know to go to shamikasaves.com. Send me a message there. I will respond to tell you the name again so that y'all can actually do it. Please go and look it up. I'm telling you, the damn website looked like Freaknik on the front with all on black. It looked like a picture of Good Times. Y'all know that Good Times picture when everybody was all partying, and that's exactly what it looks like. Okay, so this is definitely a grant for being Black, or being related to somebody Black, or having some Black ancestry. Okay, so some of y'all, my lighter skinned friends, see how you can make the correlation between you and somebody way back then, so you too can apply for this grant. Open Road Fund. All right, I'm gonna see what last questions y'all have, because it's after 8. All y'all do is hit that, type that in Google, and it will take you right there. Black Anise says, is this Open Road grant for something specific, a business grant? It is. It doesn't, they don't even care. Okay, what they state is you basically can apply because you're Black. Okay, but you got to live in one of the 3 states. And remember, if you don't live in one of the 3 states, I ain't telling y'all what to do, but y'all might need to get creative in looking at borrowing somebody's address. Okay, but all you got to do is be Black. They don't care what you use it for. They just give it to you because you're Black. I mean, you can't get no easier than that. All right, you're Black, you apply. That's it. And be over 16 and have an address for one of those 3 places. Okay. Cynthia says, yes, the scammer just uploaded pictures of the pool, of pictures from Zillow. They did not even have to go into the backyard. And I'm gonna tell you, very, very, all the time I'm checking. I will check on Zillow because I just want to see, did anybody list people who have the mindset to scam and get that money? It's very easy. Okay, because online gives you so much information, you don't even have to do anything. Nothing. Okay, you can rent other people's houses on Airbnb and Verbo and all of those places and get the money. Now, yes, you're gonna have to provide a key so that you can actually get paid and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that people can even do that is crazy to me. Okay, so y'all just got to be careful. Let me see what y'all saying. Is it still 2 years before you can purchase a house with the bankruptcy? Absolutely. After chapter 7, it's 2 years you can purchase. Yes. A chapter 13, they say not 2 years, but it's going to be about 2 years as well, because you got to give your a credit chance to rebound. And you actually want to, basically, the reason they're making you wait is because they just want you to rebuild faith with the bank so that they can trust loaning you money again. Okay, that is it. And I don't think 2 years is a long wait, because you could be building your credit, getting cars, doing all other kind of things while you're waiting for that home purchase. It says, what do you do if a lender refuses to take the security on a secured loan? Lenders do not have to take security. I know a lot of y'all might watch these videos on YouTube that tell you one way to get your business going, is to get a secure card and put down this amount of money so that they can put that this line of credit is being that you have available on your credit report. A lender does not have to do secured, and a lot of times that secured is nothing more than like a security deposit. On loans, a lot of times they don't do them. You know why? Because they rather just let you get a security, a credit card, because they can charge you higher interest. If I give you a secured loan, more than likely, because it's your money, I ain't charge you a whole lot. But if I give you a credit card, I can charge you a whole lot. It's just how it works. So if they don't, you can go someplace else. I'm not against people getting a credit card of a high limit that's secured. If that's what you choose, you just need to have a good plan of what you're going to do, because you don't want to be paying any monthly fees for them to hold your money, because you don't need them to do that. You can hold your own damn money, okay? Or you can go and get your own line of credit card from the bank. Some of you can actually go to a bank and say, hey, I would like to get a line of credit. If y'all didn't know, you can do this, but you got to find banks that do it. And I would prefer you guys do it on business accounts, not on personal. Tell them that you want a line of credit for your business. You want a card that goes along with it. You're willing to put in, $10,000 or $5,000 in exchange for them to report on your credit, that you have that available to build your business credit. Personal, they hardly ever do it. Business, they can. But if they don't, go get that money to somebody else, okay? Again, Starlight says, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Which state, Starlight? Let me know which state so that I can answer. Naziri says hello. Oh, okay, I can't read that. That's in another language. I apologize. Who is eligible for what? Open road is only for the 3 states. That's why I told y'all, find a cousin. Some of y'all will be surprised. Y'all get creative enough. How you get an address? Now, y'all hear me talk about stuff all the time, okay? So y'all know people out there do these things, okay? And all y'all asking, do they verify? They don't, okay? Do y'all have to meet these people in person? You won't. All you do is you apply. You get selected to go to the second round. If you get selected to go to the second round, you fill out more questions. And then after that, you do a call. After you do this call, the people that have done the call are usually the people that got selected, and then you supply them a bank account number for them to put the money into, and that is it. Okay, it can be personal, it can be business, because they don't necessarily require either, especially if they're telling somebody they can be 16 and older to get an account. 16-year-olds usually do not have a business account. Okay, all right, so yes, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. Okay, so make sure you tell somebody. And again, y'all probably be surprised who you know. Okay, if not, y'all need to get on there and start making y'all some friends and say, let me use your address for the 500. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, let me see what y'all asking really quick. Let me see. Yes, open road fund. Yes, Starlight. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I hope y'all got the states. Do you know any county paying for rental assistance? The only thing I can tell you is you're gonna have to do 211. Y'all got to remember, this is election season. I told y'all early this year that when it's this season, you are not going to find that there's going to be a lot of news. Okay, a lot of stuff is going to be hidden, just like this new blockchain act that was signed that we're not going to talk about today. But there are a lot of things that are happening, but they're way up under here because they're going to pull out the big guns as they get closer to November. Okay, so a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking in these next Mondays are going to be repetitive unless something big happens. But a lot of these are going to be repetitive just for the simple fact that it's not a lot new. So you guys have to come to me with a lot of these questions, which I like, because you guys get the conversation going. Okay. And if you want to know where you can apply, you can apply right on their website. Okay, Navy Federal does do secure loans. Thank you. So if anybody's looking to do the secure loan, go to Navy Federal and get a secure loan. I'm telling you, a bank would love to take your money and give you a loan off your own money. Why wouldn't it? The only thing you're really paying them to do is to report on your credit. They are no different than self-lender. They're no different than kickoff. You are paying to play. You are paying them to be a data furnisher to report data onto your credit report to build your credit. That is all that you are doing. If someone owes the IRS, can they file bankruptcy? Yes, they can, yo-yo. No matter the amount, as long as the debt is 2 years or older. So if you owe for, say you did your taxes this year in 23, this year is actually we did your taxes in 24, it's for 23. It is 24, so it's only a year old. So you can only do taxes that you filed in 22 or earlier that will go into the bankruptcy, okay? Because it has to be 2 years old. Okay, I think I got y'all. All right, nope, I got some more. Can you get a P.O. box out of state to qualify? So let me tell you about this P.O. box thing real quick. And sometimes I be hating to answer these questions because I'm like, damn, y'all gonna be. But basically, all you need to do to get a P.O. box, in a lot of cases, that you got to have the driver's license, right? Because they want to be able to see. But lease, a lot of times you can take that lease, showing that you just relocated to an area that you have that address. A lot of times it's going to depend on who's in that post office. Let me tell you, when I walked into the post office, and because I am been a victim of domestic violence, most of y'all know my situation. I just showed them a paper from the state attorney saying, hey, she has an open case. And because she has, so I have not been able to necessarily, do whatever I need to do with my address or whatever. And the lady was just like, girl, I'm gonna be a blessing. She didn't ask me for paperwork. She didn't ask me for ID, nothing. And she gave me a post office box key. Now, God bless her. And I'm glad that I wasn't in there to do anything wrong. But can you imagine somebody who is, and they go into a couple other places like that, hollering that same, peddling that same excuse? Yeah. Okay. So there are ways you can circumvent the process. The main thing I would tell you most people would do is probably go in with the lease. Okay. More than likely, that's what they're going to do, is going with the lease. Now, of course, they want to see the ID, but this is another thing. You can get this. You can get a post office box without actually having an identification card saying with that new state, because all they have to do is verify you are you at your old address. Let me say that again. If you go to get a post office box, you are supposed to bring in an ID with that state so that you can get a new P.O. box, because it says you live in that state and that address, and that post office will be the post office that's handling your mail, right? That's the normal process. But they always have a circumvent. So if you find that you can't get a P.O. box because you don't have your license and all that stuff yet, you can ask them to use the verification method. And all they do with the verification method is you give them your prior address where you were. And as long as your old post office can verify that, yes, this is you were getting mail at this address, then you are verified. Some of y'all probably did not know that the post office makes you, especially because I had to do a change of address a couple times, right? And because I kept doing it, because I was doing it for 6 months, and in 6 months, it said you need to go verify yourself. So it made me go to my local, my normal post office and verify, here I am, here's my ID, and they verified me. So now I can go and get a post office in any state because my old post office can verify who I am. Okay. So you can go to your original one. You can go to some verification places will let you go anywhere. Okay. So they do have a verification method that you can circumvent if you do not have your ID right away. They can verify you through your old post office. Okay. Didn't hear about the the Blockchain Act. The reason I want to get into it, and this was another veteran friend of mine who basically sent it to me yesterday, and I was like, "Give me explain." And it's not to me. I'm a little concerned because our money's all going to be digital, and when everything's all digital, y'all know it takes a flick of the wrist, a button, a power outage, or something, and now we do not have any access to money. Okay, and in this act, if anybody were to read it, it basically gives the government the option to say, "Hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. We're going to cut off access to your funds." These are things that are happening. They're not talking about. Okay. These are things that are happening. They're not talking about. Okay. And if y'all don't believe me, I told y'all you can go to Federal Register. They put out these things every single day that are happening in the government. Okay. I believe me. I know all the drama that's going on in the world is juicy. It's good. But while they're feeding us all this, they are really pulling the rug from up under us. And I really want y'all to stay on tune, keep your nose wide open so that you can pay attention, because you may not care today, but you will at some point. What about the ACP Act? No, the Affordable Connectivity, Darylyn, the Affordable Connectivity Program is still out. They did not refund it. I promise you, Joe Biden is going to use this as a way to get you guys to vote. I'm not saying that's good or bad, but the affordable the connectivity is where y'all got that phone, the tablet, and the internet. Now you can still get the phone under the Lifeline program, but the tablet and the internet was under the Affordable Connectivity Program, and they want to extend this hopefully permanently. Okay, but I know they're going to use this to get you to vote because a lot of y'all want that. Okay, and what does affordable connectivity usually lend itself to? Poor people, and most poor people they look kind of like, okay, and I'm not gonna say nothing else. Y'all already know. So, if nothing new with the Affordable Connectivity Program. It says, I was saying you can do it because I used to have a PO box nominee. Okay, thank you. I am favorite. So I'm telling you, some of y'all know because y'all been through this and y'all didn't even think about it from a fraud perspective. But this is how these fraudsters are winning. You don't pay attention. You think you're doing something nice or something for somebody, and next thing you doggone know, your ass is arrested. Okay, so I mean, it's just a mess. It says I work at the post office and deal with it every time. Thank you, Ujama. I'm telling you, when I went, I couldn't believe how easy it was to get that post office box and how easy it was to just get somebody else's key. And I'm like, damn, they keep putting it on us like we're the ones who doing all this, but they making it so doggone easy that why wouldn't a person want to do crime? They're gonna come up, especially if they're applying for credit cards and getting these credit cards at somebody old person's address, somebody who works at nighttime that don't check their mail all the time. I know I don't check my mail all the time. I'll be forgetting. Okay, because I try to do everything through, online. So imagine credit cards coming in the mailbox, credit card applications coming in the mailbox. You don't even know. Check your mail, people. And again, if you don't check your mail, at least do what I told y'all. Get informed delivery so you can see a copy of your mail being scanned to you every morning so that you know what should be in your box when you go out there. Okay? Ham and cheese. You about to miss this live. We about to get ready to go, but we done talked about bankruptcy. We done talked about fraud, CPNs. We done talked about a whole bunch of things. Thank you. I am favorite. Say, I'm so glad you keep your followers in the know. You guys are very welcome. Even though I may not be on here as much as I like to, it does not mean that I'm not paying attention to what is going on in the world, because it does not just affect me. It affects you guys. And I do think these things are very important. But I'm really waiting until it gets closer to election season, because that is when they're going to start pulling out some big guns. And I believe we will start seeing some things. So they're going to start implementing some things because they're really going to want your votes. The Democrats are in, so they're going to start pandering to you and giving you things, okay? Which is what everybody likes. Gimme, 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 gimme. And there is nothing wrong with that, okay? Last but not least, if I have any veterans that are watching, I am putting together an ebook, okay, right now. But if you want it before the ebook is complete, before I charge, please, Miss Cynthia, let me know. I am putting together a book of retreats. There are free retreats out there for veterans, but guess what I found? There are a lot of free retreats for regular people too, okay? So that's going to be a separate one. But right now I'm doing the one for veterans. But if I have any veterans that are interested in going on these free retreats, if you are wounded, if you want to get away with your family, with your caregiver, you got PTSD, you got mental illness, you just are a veteran and you just want to go on a free trip, then let me know. I know people who are going to Hawaii this month. You can go to, I mean, you guys know I went to Minnesota. I mean, there are so many places you can go, and you don't even got to come out your pocket. You don't got to pay for no food, nothing. Go be treated like a king or a queen for a weekend. Usually they run anywhere from 3 days to 10. It depends on which one you get on. And also, if I have any veterans that are interested in doing going to a retreat to do microdosing of ketamine, if you feel that you have PTSD and some things you want to work through, I don't know if you guys know what ketamine is, but ketamine is like getting ecstasy. Hospitals are using it. The VA, they are using it right now to treat veterans with PTSD, with especially PTSD. It's probably one of the biggest ones, depression, all that type of stuff. But there are retreats that are taking you if you would like to be a part of it. So if you want to, let me know. Send me a message, because I'm not going to do it here, because I'm not going to say what their name is. I talked to them today. I told them that I was going to mention this on my live. If y'all want more, y'all got more questions about it, I will be happy to answer some questions about it. I'm not telling y'all if I'm going or when I go, if I go. But if we talk offline, I will give you all the details. And then who knows, we may be able to go together. Okay. Ketamine is one of the new methods of way of getting people off of medication for for being depressed, anxiety, PTSD, the whole nine. Okay. So if you're a veteran, they're really interested in veterans, of course, because of the war. And if you want that ebook with all those free retreats, let me know. If you're a spouse, golly, or if you are even related to somebody that's in the military, y'all need to hit me up and let me know that you're related, because I want y'all to start using the Armed Forces Vacation Club so that y'all can go on these 7-day trips and use these timeshares that are not being used. And you do not have to be a veteran. You just have to be able to get a hold of the DD-214 of the veteran in your family. Okay? Not to mention the margarita cruise is out there for free for you, for the veteran, and for whoever they want to bring. All you do is pay for drinks. And SeaWorld is giving out 4 free tickets. So I don't know what y'all waiting on. If you need me to recap any of this that I said tonight that you missed, you go back and watch it. You got questions, shamikasaves.com. You want to book an appointment, you want to talk about your credit, whatever that may be. You want to talk about bankruptcy, my experience with it. However, just hit me up at shamikasaves.com. Thank y'all for y'all support. Please also go and like my YouTube. Y'all on YouTube anyway. Type your girl's name in, like the page, look through some of the videos. And if you got questions about those, please allow me to help you. That is exactly what we are supposed to be able to do for each other. Okay. I give you what I know. You give me what you know. We see what we can make. And that is how we grow. Okay. So I am favored. You want to send your parents on a retreat? Hit me up, girl. I got a long ass list before I start charging for this book. Okay. Because baby, I done found the jackpot. And I'm like, if I spend all year long going on nothing but retreats to boost my mental health, don't be hating, because I'm going to give y'all some to get myself together, but also to give y'all proof that these things really do exist. Okay, so we're gonna start using some nice ways to get ourselves healthy and enjoy the rest of our lives, even though things are messed up. So be blessed, every single one of y'all. Hit me up in the on my website. If y'all already got my number, text me. If you want to get in my inbox me, whatever it is. Talk to you guys soon. See you next Monday. And if I come on any other day between now and then, you just happen to get lucky and you caught me. Okay? Peace, y'all. Bye.